Of the origin stories of airlines in Asia, Starlux has the most interesting history, being founded by the former chair and heir of EVA Air, Chang Kuo-wei. The story of the airline's founding is one that would make for a Shakespearean drama, which actually I've done a previous video on. I'll link that video in the description below, but since the publishing of that video, Starlux has since started operations in a year that has been anything but normal. After years of anticipation, Starlux actually began operations on January 23rd with flights to Macau, Penang, and Da Nang. Looking to expand to more regional destinations as well as long-haul operations to continents such as North America, the premium airline is waiting for over 20 jets from Airbus, including the A321neos and wide-body A350XWBs. Following the launch of its initial flights, Starlux announced the fourth destination, Cebu in the Philippines, which the airline initially planned to launch flights on April 6th. The start of the new year and the launch of Starlux was one of the most anticipated airline launches, and the airline certainly got its headlines. However, in a weird twist, Starlux Taiwan and the global aviation industry would see ambitious plans for 2020 derailed due to the implementation of quarantine and travel restrictions. Within a few months of the anticipated launch of Starlux, the services to Macau was the first to be suspended in mid-February, and the suspensions for flights to Da Nang and Penang would follow in late March. The planned launch of flights to Cebu would be pushed back to July, and since then it has been pushed back even further to October. As a result, Starlux was grounded for much of late March and April, and with the uncertainty, there was a time that the airline was actually considering operating cargo flights. After initially planning to resume flights in May, Starlux would once again take to the skies with flights to Macau starting on June 1st, which would be then followed by the resumption of flights to Penang, Malaysia on June 18. Meanwhile, flights to Da Nang remain suspended as Vietnam currently restricts entry for international arrivals, which is also the reason why the planned flights to Cebu have also been pushed back further. Now, you would assume that this would be a very bleak time for the airline, and yes, it definitely is given the current circumstances. However, Starlux has been planning its future even despite the current situation. During the summer, the airline held a recruiting drive for pilots and flight crew, and the airline announced plans to make its entry to the Japanese market with its first flights to Okinawa, Japan, which was originally scheduled to begin on July 1st, though those plans have now been pushed back further. Also, the airline has been operating special flights to nowhere like its counterparts in Taiwan, which has been reported to be very popular. In terms of the timing of the launch and the current situation, one could say, as travel blog 1 Mile at a Time put it, the most poorly timed airline startup ever, and it's really hard to argue why not. Adding to that, Starlux does not have a domestic flight network to rely on, which is actually by design. The airline is intended to be an international premium airline, and its plans is definitely affected by the travel restrictions placed in key areas such as Southeast Asia. Given the current situation, Starlux is probably going to have to relook at their plans for the long-haul flights in the future and reassess the aircraft orders that it currently has. I personally do have my doubts regarding Starlux and its future, even as I root for its success. Therefore, I also have to point out that it is in a startup phase, and this is during a period when airlines are expected to lose money for a time until they earn a profit. This phase is definitely daunting, though when putting things in perspective, Starlux can look optimistically into the future given right now, it probably doesn't have that many financial obligations as other more tenured airlines in the region and in the world have. Another point of interest is the current economy of Taiwan, which so far has fared better compared to its counterparts in other parts of Asia, which down the road, barring any other circumstances, other countries' tourism industries could be looking for travel from Taiwan as a source of tourism arrivals. That could be something that Starlux could look to capitalize on in the future. In the meantime, I definitely hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Once again, this is Flights in Asia. Thank you for watching and have a great day.